Oh, yeah. Can you dig it? Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday night. That's a chill stream on a hump day. You got to have it. It's fantastic. I finished my bathroom today. Been working on it for a while. Finally got it done. All the floor redone, all the floor joists redone, all the plumbing redone, all the toiletries rehung, carpeted, whole 9 yards. Finished. Finito. Mwah. I'm so glad it's over. On to the next one. How's your day been? Kevin Cox is first in the chat. He says, hey, jakejohnsonband. Hello, Kev. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Kevin says, Amanda Popanda, be careful or the man will throw you down in the snow. I would do the same thing to April. I did, and it was fun. Amanda says, hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all. Happy hump day, Camel. I hope everyone is doing good. And hiya, Jake. How are you tonight? Hearts and smiley faces. Sore. I feel like I called Mike Tyson a sissy, but I have a new bathroom, so that's something. Amanda says, hi, Kevin. And by the way, there's your gold star. You get the gold star for being first in chat. Thank you for that. And Amanda says, LOL, right, Kevin. It was funny, not funny, but I got him with a big snowball. Ha-ha. Kevin says, hey, Amanda HPJ. The AHPJ. Nice hot cup of coffee we got here. Bill Bennett's here. He says, hello, Untethered Live family. I hope all is well. Well, all is as well as can be expected, Bill. How are you doing, sir? Amanda says, hi, by the way. Can you dig it? Yes, I can. Kevin says, I have coffee with Jake on it, on the mug. In the morning, I feel better when I drink from it. It is green, and you can get one, too. While you're at it, get two. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Yes, I will soon have one of those cups myself one of these days. I just have to buy one. I got to buy my own merch. What can I say? But if you have one, thank you. It comes in many colors. You got a green one? That's cool. I want a black one, and I'm going to get one. Bill says, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Amanda says, it looks great, Jake. Thank you. You did awesome. Appreciate that. I am quite the builder when I'm not being lazy. Bill says, one room at a time, and then it's back where you started at, right? By the time I get the whole house remodeled, it'll be time to go back and remodel it again. It's a never-ending battle. You don't own property, it owns you. That's what they say, isn't it? Kevin Cox says, I need to learn how to play the guitar. 3 weeks ago, I was paid with a black Gibson Les Paul, and yes, I had it authenticated, and it is real and right-handed. Jesus, man. I play guitar. I know a guy that would love to have a Les Paul. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. That's pretty cool, man. I'm proud for you, and I'll be glad to teach you how to play, by the way. Amanda says, don't tell Jake that. Kevin, that's one of his favorite guitars. Well, you know, it is the Les Paul. But I'm glad you got it, and that's really awesome. Please take good care of it. Those are not going down in value. They're going up in value. And they always have. So if you have one, take good care of it, and it'll do you right. I will send you pictures, and I would be honored to have your help. I'd love to play. I'd love to teach you how to play. No problem. Yeah. We got to figure out a way to get close to each other so I can teach you how to play. But, yeah, I'll play it for you. I mean, teach you how to play it for you. That would be cool. Amanda says, Jake also finally got a chance to put some of his guitars on the wall, and they look great hanging. Yep, I've got about, I think, 8 of them up already. Yeah, 8. Pretty soon I'll have 30 of them hanging. Patty's here. She says, hi, y'all. Hey, Patty. Didn't retract that message, did you? How are you doing? How's the weather in Tennessee? Y'all will forgive me. I'm wearing a girdle. I can barely breathe in this thing, but it's helping my back out. Amanda says, hi, Patty. That's one of them getting old things. Can't really avoid that. Patty says, it's good. Good weather. Excellent. Excellent. One of these days, I'm going to get down there to Tennessee and do some guitar playing. I've avoided going for a long time because there's everybody there plays, and there's really no getting anywhere, but it is fun to go there. I went once, and I played at all the, famous places, Tootsie's and Legends and Broken Spoke and, different places like that. But one day I'd like to go there and spend about a month and just kind of play at every place in town and pass my song out to a bunch of people, see what happens. Patty says, I played some today. Excellent. I haven't played much this past couple of weeks because about 2 weeks ago I pulled a muscle and my fingers went numb, and they're still numb. I can still feel them numb at the tips. So I'm trying to avoid playing unless I have to. You played Tootsies? Awesome. I played Tootsies also. My name is on the wall somewhere in there. And Amanda says, hi, Skylar. Is Skylar with us today, Bill? Yep. Bill says, Skylar said hi. Skylar said to say hi for him, LOL. He's not the only one hooked. Excellent. Well, hello, Skylar. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. This is a little different than the last show we did. Amanda says, hi, Skylar. How did you like playing at Tootsie's? Were you impressed about how small it was? I expected different when I went there. We got ourselves a genuine, bona fide sports update from Kevin Cox. Da-da-da-da-da. Kevin Cox, he says the Super Bowl weekend is this weekend, and the Philadelphia Eagles play Kansas Shitty Wampum. And I am a Philly fan for the game. Get your nachos, pick a team, and get ready. By the way, who? That's excellent. I didn't realize the Super Bowl was already happening, but if you're a Super Bowl fan, I encourage you to watch it because it's going to be awesome. Patty Donahue says, one time, folks were taking pictures of me like I was somebody. Right on? Well, that happens to me a lot, so I understand. And I still ain't nobody, but people think I am, so that's good. Are you all pulling for the Filthies? Yeah. I don't even know what that is, but I'm pulling for it. Bill Bennett says, does the Eagles have a chance? I hope they win. Kelsey and Tay-Tay need to go, LOL. Kelsey and Tay-Tay. That's Kelsey and Taylor Swift. That who you talking about? Yeah. I didn't know that's the team that he played for, but if she's going to be there, that's all anybody's going to be looking at is Taylor Swift. Nobody's going to be watching the game, so it don't matter if they win or not. Patty says, I sat in on a guy's 2-hour set during his break. Excellent. Yeah, when I played there, I just played by myself. I didn't have a band with me or nothing. And it was kind of like there was somebody already playing there, and they just let me get up and do a set. So I played there. And then I went over to Broken Spoke. I don't even know if that's still there or not, but I played there in the upper room and in the lower room. And in the lower room, I played with the band that was playing there, so that was cool. Then I went to a private writers convention in the back room of the Broken Spoke, and then I played at Legends. All the typical stuff, you know. Kevin Cox says, Filthies is 31-21 over the Wampum. Give me your take on it. I think the Phillies will win. They seem to be in the lead. Bill Bennett says, think she is the quarterback's girlfriend. Not for sure, though. Yeah, she is. If Kelsey is the quarterback, whatever that guy's name is, Travis Kelsey or something like that. Fab Daddy says, Tomahawk toilet. Right on. I don't know what kind of toilet it is, but it's a new one. Anyway, if you're talking about my bathroom, because I got it. And hello, Fab Daddy. Patty says, I borrowed his guitar. Well, you usually do when you play with somebody else. Just play what's there. You don't usually bring your own guitar for that kind of thing, but occasionally. Amanda says, hi, Fab. Kevin says, right on, Fab Daddy. Tomahawk toilet. John H. says, hi, everyone. Some people taking pics of me to most wanted, right? Fab Daddy says, Tomahawk toy. Right on. I don't know what you mean there either, but I like it. I like the word tomahawk. Whoa. Tonight's episode is brought to you by this hot cup of coffee. Thank you to the people that provided the coffee for the show tonight. If you would like to have a cup with me, go to the kitchen and pour yourself up a nice hot cup and let's talk about the world. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. Kevin has one. It has this face on it. It is fantastic. It's a great gift. It sits well on the coffee table. It holds liberal tears quite nicely. You can do all kinds of things with it. It slices, it dices. And if you pay an extra $19.99, it'll paint your house for you. So get one today if you don't have one already. Get another one. Heck, get one for your friends. Anyway, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little bit of love. Throw a little ℧𝕠𝕟𝕠𝕚 my way. I'd appreciate that very much. And also hit that CashApp $JakeJohnsonband. And if you'd like to have a place where you can go and hang out with everybody at the show, outside of the show, and keep up with each other, text, videos, pictures, whatever you want to do, emails, and keep up with all things Untethered Live Universe, you can go right over to facebook.com/UntetheredLive Family, all one word, Untethered Live Family, and you can do that there. So I appreciate you visiting. Back to you, Bob. Amanda says, hi, John, LOL. And Patty says, it's a great feeling to have your voice blend into those brick walls. Yes. Bill Bennett says, where is these holes in the wall, North Carolina? I don't know what you mean. Yes, there's a lot of hole-in-the-wall bars in North Carolina, if that's what you're asking. I do play a lot of them. But I also play a lot of big venues, too, and a lot of private parties. Kevin says, Taylor Swift, mop is Kelly. No, I don't know what that word is. No Belsey's girlfriend. He is a tight end. Okay. Kelly No Belsey? Okay. Well, I get you. Amanda says, Kevin gets to see your face every morning. What a sight, right? I know it brightens his day up. Bill Bennett says, I had a MRI on my brain today. Good gracious, Bill. And it sucked. But I'm pretty sure my brain is okay. But that's just my opinion. Well, I hope your brain is okay, Bill. That would suck if it wasn't. Because if it was messed up, who am I talking to and why? I hope your brain's doing good. And I do not like MRI machines. They are very loud and noisy and scary. And I have tattoos, so my tattoos get hot. That's not fun. Thank God I didn't use anything metallic based in the ink because it would pull the ink right out. Fab Daddy says, Rivera of the Middle East. Cool. What you think about Trump controlling Gaza? I think it's a good idea. I think if your kids can't get along, you take their toys away from them and say they're mine now. I think that's what you do. I think it's a great idea, Fab Daddy. I think if Hamas wants it and Israel wants it and nobody can agree and they're constantly fighting, America should go in and say, okay, we own it now. Now you both can go in and play. That's what I think. You think he's acting like a king? Sure, like no other president has done that before, like Joe Biden. At least he's using Congress as it is intended for the things that he doesn't write in executive order, which can be overturned by the Supreme Court. I think you think he's acting like a king because that's what people on TV say he's doing, but he's not doing anything any other president hasn't done, and he's actually doing things that are good for the country. So wait a year and then tell me he's acting like a king when you're doing better and making more money and everything is cheaper and safer and less criminal. So let's see what happens. And the wars have stopped. I mean, unless you like living in a country that goes to war for no reason other than power. Because that's what the last administration did. 3 wars started under the last administration. How many wars have started under Trump's? 1 and the new one coming? None. So, king? If he's acting like a king, he's acting like a very benevolent, peaceful king that everybody loves. Because the entire country, every state in the union shifted Republican during the election. Not he didn't win them all, but they all went in the Republican direction, all of them. And he did win all of the swing state and the popular vote. So the largest majority of the country is on his side and the things that he's doing because he campaigned for an entire year telling everybody exactly what he was going to do, and he's doing that stuff. He hasn't done one thing that he didn't say he was going to do, and everybody cheered when he said it. So if he's acting like a king, he's acting like a benevolent, loved king. Maybe that helps. Amanda says at least Trump knows what's going on around the world. Around him. Yeah, he does know what's going on. Patty says a lot of oil in the Golan Heights. I'm sure that has something to do with it. But that's not why he's doing it. Bill Bennett says, the IV hurt and I bleed a lot, but that's probably the beer. I heard of a book. I think it was called The Last President, and it talked about Barron Trump and Elon, and was a YouTube short, so it might have been fake. No, it's not fake. There's a book that was written in the 40s that's called The Last President, and in that book, they postulate that the president's name would be Barron Trump, and there is an Elon there, but it is a coincidence, I think. Or Trump's a time traveler. And that's not entirely impossible because Trump's uncle, that's his dad's brother, was the longest-running professor at MIT and ended up with Nikola Tesla's papers after Nikola Tesla died. So he got all of Nikola Tesla's work, and God knows what that guy had invented that didn't come out. So it's not entirely impossible that Trump is a time traveler, or his son will be. But, you know, it was a fictitious book, so there's that. But there's nothing new under the sun, and chances are there's been more than one person named Barron Trump. Amanda says, oh, damn, wait. Trump stopped the wars. Imagine that, right? Kevin Cox says, I also have a great new, very, very naughty song. We will talk later. April likes it. I can't wait to hear it, and I'd love to hear it. I like very naughty songs. Fab Daddy says, so much for tariffs. Took until Monday morning. Stock exchange for the tariffs to flip-flop. What do you mean? Flip-flop what? Last I heard, Canada and Mexico and Colombia have all capitulated and made agreements with Trump. So he didn't have to tariff them. Tariffs were a threat. As I said last week on Politics, it's a deal-making apparatus. He's threatening them so that he can make a deal. Not necessarily going to tariff them unless they don't deal. Hey, will you turn that heater off, please? I think she's trying to kill me. Dakota says, hi, friends. Hey, Dakota. Welcome to the show. Bill Bennett says, that's super crazy. Right. And Amanda says, oh, wait a minute. I missed some. Hang on. Bill Bennett says, man, his word. God bless the Trumps. Right on. He is a man of his word. Amanda says the tariffs are still on. He's just negotiating deals. Right on. Amanda says, hi, Dakota. And Fab Daddy says, okay. So Trump has threatened to use war on Panama and Greenland. Not the most peaceful president. That is not true. He has not threatened to use war on either place. No, he is not. What he has said was, if we can't make a deal, we may have to escalate. That's not the same thing as threatening war. First of all, Greenland wants to be occupied by us. It was their idea. So he's not going to have to use war there. As far as Panama goes, that's rightfully ours anyway. It was sold for $1. That wouldn't hold up in court for nobody. And he'll end up getting that back too. Watch and see. No wars have happened under Trump. Saying a thing and it happening are not the same thing, Fab Daddy. You should know that. Judge the man by what he does, not by what he says, because he's a deal maker. The whole thing is he talks big, he gives out the big ask, and then he negotiates somewhere that everybody's kind of happy and kind of not happy, which is a good deal. Amanda says, LOL, Kevin, you should hear some of the naughty songs he sends me while he's at work. LOL, he's bad. He's a bad boy. Yeah, or some of the ones that I write while I'm at work. Mr. P's here. Hey, Mr. P, what's up? He says, good evening, all. I'm listening. Hey, Mr. P, good to see you, my friend. Fab Daddy says, Gaza will require boots on the ground. Again, not peaceful. It hasn't happened, has it? Wait until it happens before you start saying things like that. You can't preemptively judge a man for something he has not done. It might not require boots on the ground. He might be able to do it on the strength of his word alone, which he has managed to do many, many other things with, including getting all the other countries to pay their fair share last time around. He didn't have to go to war with them either. So wait and see. Wait and see what the man's doing. Maybe, just maybe, he is a master negotiator and you got it all wrong. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe, just maybe, it doesn't matter what you think about him personally if he does good for the country. Maybe, just maybe, you ought to stop being so judgy and wait and see what the results are before you decide to hate a man because of something he hasn't done. Maybe. Or maybe you can just talk a bunch of nonsense and be like all the other liberals who are working their way off the cliff as we speak. Maybe. I don't think you're that guy, though. I think you got a little common sense bouncing around in there somewhere. I have faith in you, Fab. Amanda says, hi, Mr. P. And Amanda says, he's not putting boots on the ground in Gaza. I don't think he will either. I think the threat of it alone will be enough to stop it, which is what he always says, peace through strength. Rachel Floyd's here. Hello, Rachel. How are you, sweetheart? Good to see you. Amanda says, hi, Rachel. And Dakota says, hi, Rachel. And Amanda says, that's what I'm talking about. The ones you write. The songs? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've written some pretty hairy songs. Nobody ever gets to hear those, though. Rachel says, why does Trump even want Gaza? I don't understand genuinely. I'll make it clear for you. Have you ever seen two children fighting and then the parents come up and take their toys away from them? So they have to sit on either side of the room and not fight anymore. They don't have anything to fight over anymore. That's exactly why he wants Gaza. He doesn't care about Gaza. Gaza's not anything we've ever wanted. But Israel and Hamas cannot get along about Gaza. So he's going to come in and take over. And then they can both play peacefully without having anything to fight over. We'll see if that works. It won't. Read the Bible. But it's a good, genuine try. I think it's better than anybody else has done so far. Amanda says, damn, he ain't even been in office a month yet. Just sit back and watch the man work his magic. Right on. Fab Daddy says, why they stopped USA? Oh, that's right. USA first unless it's Gaza and the money it will cost us. Well, no, that's not why at all. USAID has nothing to do with Gaza. They are a CIA front, and they are spending millions of dollars on stuff like condoms for Gaza and transgender plays in Pakistan and things like that. Uzbekistan or wherever the hell it was. Trust me, there's a reason he shut that down. Go look at the actual information and you'll see. It ain't got nothing to do with Gaza. Rachel says, okay, I get that. Right on. Patty says, oil. Well, it could be oil, but I don't think it is. We've got enough oil in Texas to last the next 1,000 years and more in Alaska and in Pennsylvania and all over the place. California's full of it. So, I don't know why he would need the oil in Gaza, but whatever. It might be that. Linda Davis is here. Hello. Good evening, all, says Linda. Hi, Linda. How are you? Rachel says, Fab, why does the USA need to fund other countries? Damn issues. Right. Why do we need to fund their money? Why can't they deal with their own problems? What if Trump is saying, hey, no more of this outward spending stuff. We're going to spend the money here, not there. You got a problem? Fix it. That's why you're a country. You don't need America to fix your problems. You don't need America to be the world police. Kahana, welcome. She says hello, or he says hello from Magazona. Magazona? Is that Arizona? Magazona. Kahana, I don't know if you're male or female, but welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, who are you, and what team do you fight for? Either way is fine. Amanda says, hi, Kahana, welcome. Is that like Ohana? Is that a Hawaiian word, Kahana? Ohana means family. I don't know what Kahana means, but I like it. Rachel says, Fab, we can't even pay our own bills, etc., but yet we need to be sending billions to other citizens for their medicine when America can't even afford medicine? I agree. Kevin Cox says, okay, Jake, what is Trump going to do about the evil empire? That's right. I mean, Juanita, Florida. Well, I hope he nukes it. It needs to be nuked. However, nothing in Juanita but cockroaches, so that really won't do that much good because they'll survive the nuke. Walter Davis says, good evening, all. What's up, Walter? Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the show. And Rachel says, maybe they should be asking for their own government. Should be asking their own government why they won't help. That's a thought. Maybe, stick with me here, maybe that's a real dictatorship, and the reason that their government don't fix their problems is because they're busy getting rich off of their taxes and not giving anything back to the people, so the people have to beg for help from other countries. Maybe. Maybe that's what a dictator looks like. We've never had one here, but we did have one that was close. The guy that did things that were unconstitutional and wrote things into law that should not have been written into law, that didn't go through the Congress, and had press conferences behind big red backdrops and scary underlighting. And yeah, maybe that guy, maybe the guy that caused people to die by the ass loads and opened the borders and did away with everything that helps California and all the rest of the states. Maybe that guy was kind of like a dictator. But you don't hear too many people saying that. I wonder why. Amanda says, hi, Walter, and hi, Linda Hun. Fab Daddy says, okay, but let's spend millions on rebuilding Gaza and cut Medicare. He has not cut Medicare. He has stopped people that are able-bodied from getting Medicare. That's the difference. Medicare is for invalid people, not for wealthy, healthy people that can get a job. And by the way, if we spent millions on rebuilding Gaza, that would not even touch the scale in comparison to what we've sent to the Ukraine. I know it's not the Ukraine, but I said it anyway. Think about that. And that is a Nazi. And we're funding that. We're not funding it anymore, though. And Amanda says, drill, baby, drill. And by the way, if we drill, baby, drill, there'll be plenty of millions to go around. You know what I'm saying? Plenty more than we have right now. Linda Davis says, hi, Amanda Hart. And Amanda says, not cutting Medicare, making it better. Right. And I believe that's Medicaid, not Medicare. Medicare is for older people who can't get around. Medicaid is for anybody that can apply and has the right color, they can get it. I can't get it, even though I'm wearing a girdle right now and can't walk. I can't get it, but they can. So, power to the people, I suppose, unless the people are actually building the world. And then, nah. Walter Davis says, hi, Jake, Rachel, Kevin, Linda, Patty, Fab, Dakota, Amanda, Bill, and Kahana, who doesn't seem to be here anymore. My eggs are still too much money. Well, give it time. It takes time. It's only been a week. Give it time. I know it feels like longer, but it's only been a week. We've got to fix a lot of broken shit before the price of eggs starts coming down. And Rachel says, switch to oatmeal, Fab Daddy. It's probably more healthy. It's not. Oatmeal has no intrinsic value to your health. Eggs, however, does provide protein. Oatmeal is like eating expensive air. Fab Daddy says $9 per dozen. Go to the dollar store and get the white carton. They're $4 a dozen. Amanda says everything is still expensive. Good things don't happen overnight. Progress takes time, and he's working on it. The inflation this week. All right, he's working on the inflation this week. This is what I would like to propose to you. It took 4 years to break everything and to get everything where it is right now. It's not going to be undone in a week. Give it at least a couple months, and then you'll see the prices go down. Colin Hill, the Biddle, says, hey, Jake. What's up, Colin? How you doing, buddy? Rachel says, Fab, I genuinely don't understand why you don't stay on one topic and try to debate it. Why is it you just spew things you heard on headlines? You don't even define it. Or defend it, sorry. You don't even defend it. True. Yeah, pick a topic and let's talk about it. I will cover any ground you want to cover, and we'll even get up to Google and look it up if you want to, a left-wing operation. But we'll look. But, you know, I don't think that you're actually knowledgeable about the things you're upset about. I think you should probably educate yourself, and then I think begrudgingly you'll change your mind. Because I think if you don't look at the issues, you can't change your mind about the issues. So you can feel however you want to feel. But feelings don't get you anywhere. Remember, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? Facts don't care about your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Amanda says, hi, Colin. And Amanda says he watches too much MSDNC and CNN. Left. Nah. I think he watches just enough to make him think things, but not enough to actually find out what's actually going on. You're never going to get the truth from those places, Fab Daddy. They're always going to spin it to the worst angle possible, because if it bleeds, it leads. And the same thing with Fox News, by the way. If you want real news, go read India newspapers. There's an Indian newspaper in America. Go find it and read it. They're closer to the truth than anybody else. Oddly enough, so is that Russia channel. I can't remember the name of it. RT Now, something like that. They tell pretty basic truths, but they also do propaganda, so you got to watch it. But listen to people who have studied what they're talking about, not just left-wing people. Look for independent people who are actually trying to learn the truth, like Jimmy Dore, who is a left-wing guy, and I don't like his politics, but I like everything he stands for, because he's trying to find the truth of a thing. Doesn't matter if he's right or wrong or what side of the aisle he's on. He's looking for the truth. Jimmy Dore, go listen to that guy instead of CNN. You'll get more out of it, I promise. Dave Rubin, a gay guy, a left gay guy, who tells the truth. Go listen to him. Notice I didn't say Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan's a pothead who doesn't care. You're not going to get real news out of that guy, but he will argue a point, and he is great for a conversation, but that's not where you should get your news. Go see Tim Pool. He's got a good channel. Go watch Untethered Live for real news. Kevin Cox says, I say we ask the Ukraine for a refund. Or for a refund. Yes, I agree. I think we should take that money back. Leave them in the same condition we found them in, because it ain't none of our business in the first place. Colin says, I got a family tree project, and I was going to use a poster board, but my mom wants to use a 4-foot-tall decorative tree. Listen to your mom. Fab Daddy says, okay. That's the third statement that you've began with the words okay, which implies that you're not really willing to listen to the answer to the question you're about to ask, that you're trying to hit me with a gotcha with an assumed answer into your question, but that doesn't work with me because I think. Therefore, I am. Okay, so now you can justify spending money for another country than ours. So hypocritical. I didn't justify anything. You brought it up. I never said we should spend any money in Gaza. I never said a word about rebuilding Gaza. I just answered your question as to why Trump would be interested in taking it over, which he has not done yet, by the way. So no. Not so hypocritical. And if you're going to talk to me with a little bit of respect, Fab Daddy. I have never disrespected you. I've never called you a hypocrite, even though you exhibit many, many hypocritical traits. I have never called you an idiot, even though you constantly ask me questions that already have assumed answers, which means you're not interested in what I have to say. There are people watching that want to hear true things. If you don't, I understand that. But I'm not lying to you, nor am I being hypocritical. I am, however, answering your questions. The questions that you bring up, not the ones that I brought up. I didn't bring it up. You did. Remember? Go back and look. Kahana is still here. She says, Team Red. I don't know who you are. Former AC 130 gunner here. That's a dude. Brada. God wins. Amen, Kahana. And you're Ohana now. So, welcome to the show. Consider subscribing. It's free. Rachel says, I love how everyone gets butthurt when the government is basically going through a major audit. How dare he stop unnecessary funding to gay operas in Europe? Right. Listen, Donald Trump, with Elon Musk and everybody else, Vivek Ramaswamy and all the team, campaigned across the country doing 2 and sometimes 3 shows a night, venues. Everybody in America heard for an entire year what he was going to do, and they all cheered him on while he said it. Now that he's in office, he's starting to do the things that he's been campaigning on, unlike the other guy who didn't do a single thing he campaigned on. And you're freaking out about it. You knew it was coming. You can't get out of it. He has a mandate from the American people. The largest majority of the country wants him doing everything he's doing. The tiny little wimpy minority is up in arms about it because they can't control it anymore. Simple. It's our turn. Deal with it like we have. Kevin Cox says, Colin, be a real man and tell your mother you will go with the tree. Always, a real man listens to his mama. Yep, I said that. The guy whose mama couldn't tell him anything. Amanda says, right, Rachel? Nailed it. Right on. Yeah, the things we're spending money in other countries for is retarded. That's why it's being stopped. Notice he hasn't stopped anything that's actually benefiting somebody, like humanitarian aid in other countries. You don't hear anything about those stuff. You hear about shrimps on treadmills and condoms for Gaza and what she said, gay operas in Europe and transgender hours at schools and things like that. That's what they're paying for. That stuff is all ending now. That's over. It had 20 years to fester and rot in everybody's noses, and we didn't do anything about it. They overstepped, and now we've put an end to it. Deal with it. It's not coming back. No more women and no more men in women's sports. It wouldn't happen the other way around. No more female pilots that aren't really female, if you know what I'm saying. No, none of that, no more. It's all going to stop because we've done that and it didn't work. Colin says, Kevin, I'm going to get laughed at. Listen to your mama. She knows things you don't know. And if you get laughed at, you can turn around and say, well, at least I know my mama. How about that? Patty says, Rachel, peace. Colin says, and I already get bullied. Well, I told you how to fix that. Have you done what I suggested? Do you remember what I suggested? Amanda says, everything is more expensive in California. Welcome to the shit state. Ha ha. Yeah, how about that? Talk to Gavin Newsom about your $9 eggs. And Fab Daddy says, yes, you said was used only for DEI programs, not feeding starving people. I got it. That's what it looks like to me. Rich S is here. He says Waffle House added a 50-cent surcharge per egg now. Right on. Hey, Rich, good to see you. Amanda says hi. And Rich says, hey, Amanda. Or AHJ. AHBJ. I love Caroline Levitt, too. She's awesome. Fab Daddy says, I love how you imagine what I watch and get information from. You guys get some gumption. Well, Fab Daddy, I imagine nothing. I watch it too, which is why I recognize the things you say and the way that you say them come straight from the headlines that I watched the same night you bring it up. So, yeah, I'm not imagining a whole lot there. But I realize that you're playing checkers and I'm playing chess. That's okay. If Rachel says, nah, left people are just annoyed because they will soon have nothing to bitch about. How dare he lower goods and we will live better. What a fucking psycho. Ugh. Not having to work 2 jobs. Asshole. Right? It's exactly right. Amanda says, watch the White House conferences and get your information directly from the source. Right. Every day that they have a press conference, it is televised on YouTube. You can find it. Just type in White House press conference, and you can get a plethora of information. And Caroline Levitt is on the ball. She knows what's up. So you listen to her to get news. She'll tell you what's happening and what's not happening. And you can hear all the leftard reporters asking stupid questions and her slapping them down one by one because they're retarded. Go check it out. You'll see real news there. And also, Trump, while signing executive orders, is taking questions. When's the last time you saw Joe Biden or anybody on the left do that? He is more accessible than any other president combined. You have no excuse to not know the truth about what's happening because it's all on TV for free. Go check it out. Rachel says, Fab, well, you say a lot of nothing and then get offended when people say facts. So if you actually want to add something, Fab Daddy says, true, Trump was on Rogan. Yes, he was. And they talked about a lot of stuff. None of it was news, which is exactly what I said. I didn't say Rogan was a bad source. I said, don't go there for news. See how you twist and hear what you want to hear? I didn't say that. I watch Rogan every chance I get. I love the show. But it's not where I get my information from because Rogan's a pothead. You know, he has opinions about things, but that's not news. That's an opinion. CNN has opinions too. They are getting better. They have fired a lot of the bad people, but it's still pretty rough. Patty says Rogan's controlled opposition. I don't think he is. I think he just don't want to play in that game. He only had Donald Trump on a week before the election under immense pressure from everybody saying, why wouldn't you have this guy on? He's going to be the next president. Why would you not do it? So he finally capitulated and did it. He tried to have Kamala Harris on too. She wouldn't come. So, and it's probably a good thing. Rich S says, I love Caroline Levitt. Me too. She is a straight shooter. She's a little pit bull, and she has got her facts together. So if you want to listen to news, watch the White House press briefing for all the latest news that's going on politically. Kevin Cox says the Cartoon Network has better news than CNN. Also, Fox needs to move on. Trump won. I agree. Fox has done a nosedive since 2016. Since, what was his name? Roger Ailes. Since he moved on, Trump went downhill. His sons took over, and they're liberals. And even though they say that they'll let them say whatever they want to say, they did fire Tucker Carlson over something he said. And also, it wasn't under their tutelage, but that's what happened to the old guy. What's his name? Can't remember his name. You know, this is the no spin zone. That guy. Can't remember his name. Anyway, he got fired for something he did too. Patty says, look at his guests. Yeah, his guests are mostly comedians. What aren't comedians are fighters, and what aren't fighters are people who say things that are adjacent to reality, like Graham Hancock, which I like. I like the guy, but he's not playing with a full deck. He's off on a different tangent, and Joe favors that because he doesn't want to find God. Although he's getting closer and closer, and he's softening up on it a lot over the last 5 years, and has actually started questioning people that actually talk about God now. As before, he wouldn't do that. As before, he only got scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is controlled opposition. And he does have a lot of those people on his show. I don't think Joe Rogan is doing that on purpose, though. I think he genuinely is a good guy that is an atheist and doesn't want to believe in God. So he looks for those answers that he likes, that are comfortable. But he has reached a breaking point. He's gotten to a place where now he's starting to see the bullshit, and I've watched him do it, and he's getting closer. He hadn't quite got there yet, but I think in the next 5 years, Joe is going to come out as a Christian. I think. Watch and see. See if I'm right. I don't know. But I agree with you. His guests are kind of bullshit. The ones that aren't comedians or fighters. Amanda says, and Kamala was scared to go on Rogan, and she wanted it edited and only certain questions asked. Yeah, and she wanted him to go to her in D.C. when she was going to be in Texas that week anyway. She could have just popped over to his studio, but she, unable to have a real conversation, which you're going to find out soon anyway, because Trump and his team have sued CNN, and CBS, and CBS has agreed to release the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris that they edited down to 13 minutes from an hour or something. They're going to release the whole transcripts and the video feeds to go with it. So you're going to see what a real interview with Kamala Harris looks like, which is why she didn't want to do Joe Rogan, because she can't stand up to real questions. Fab Daddy says, Rachel, you're just mad at me for calling you someone else's name. Oh, I'm pretty sure she's secure in what her name is, but she might be, but she's not wrong. Rachel says, Democrats don't think that's the problem. Their feelings have gotten them so many free handouts, they don't know how to think. I agree with that statement 100%. It has become the feeling generation. Everything is about victimhood. Everything is about microaggressions and how you feel about something. And as a such and such, yeah, well, that's not going to fly. That's not how the real world works. And the whole time that was happening, I was thinking, when are the adults going to stand up and tell these children to shut the hell up? And they never did. It's like they wanted it to happen. It was like a controlled explosion. They wanted it to go. But now that they've had it for 20 years and everything they wanted is handed to them, and then they've seen things like Chaz. Remember Chaz? And all the other things that happened out throughout the United States and all across the world. And just like it came in, everybody is in unison turning against it now in every country because it's bullshit. And that's not how you make the world run. You can't do it. Socialism doesn't work, folks. It always ends in starvation and genocide, and that's where we're headed if we keep down this road. Now, Hollywood is an early adopter. You'll usually see changes there before you see it everywhere else. Watch and see how the movies change over the next 10 years, and you'll understand I'm right. Unfortunately, you can't see it in a small amount of time. The Overton window is so big. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Overton window. It has gotten so big that you can't even see it when it shifts because you're in it. But shifting it is, and things are a-changing. Times are a-changing, I heard Bob Dylan say. It's been 35 years since my father passed away, but I can still picture him in his overalls. Colin says, Kevin, how am I going to take it to school? Over your back like a lumberjack. Come on, man. Yakety yak, over your back like a lumberjack. Don't talk back. Fab Daddy says, yes, you have called me a hypocrite. I have never called you a hypocrite. Never once. I would like to see the timestamp and the video if I did. And if I did, I apologize. I don't think I did. I might have called you moronic, because moron's my favorite word, but that's a pet name. I don't really mean you're a moron, like unable to think, which is what moron means. But I'd never called you a hypocrite. Colin Hillville says, Fab, just leave your causing Jake to get mad. Oh, no, I'm not getting mad. And Fab is welcome here as much as I am. It's okay, Colin. This is just back and forth, buddy. That's all there is to it. And that's how we learn as a country. The answer is more speech. The answer to all the problems. More conversation. More heated debate. More discussion. As long as we don't cross over that into ad hominem attacks because you've lost the argument, there's no problem here. You called me a dumbass liberal. I have called you a liberal. I may have said dumbass. Maybe I would have said you were acting like a dumbass liberal. I don't think so, though. That doesn't sound like something I would say. But it's possible. I'll give you that one, but I've never called you a hypocrite. I'm trying to keep you as a friend, not push you away. Jake causes himself to get mad. No, I don't. I'm not mad. I'm not going to lose an ounce of sleep over this. Believe me, as soon as I quit, that thought goes out of my mind. I am playing into the madness because that's what you do on a channel. You talk. I know who won. I was there. I voted. And all the talk in the world ain't going to stop what's coming. So, Colin says, my brother is coming home tomorrow after 4 years in prison. Well, congratulations. I know you'll be happy to see him. Hooray. What did he go to prison for, Colin, if you don't mind me asking? Rachel says, Fab, oh, wow, Democrats can think. Good job, Daddy. A dumbass liberal is correct, yes. Wow. Rachel, you're on fire tonight, darling. Good girl. Fab Daddy says, congrats, Colin. Yeah, congratulations. Colin says, thanks, Fab. And Amanda says, Trump did more in his first day than Biden and Kamala together did in 4 years. This is a fact. Rachel says, Daddy, do you have another liberal friend to cry to? Ouch. Kevin Cox says, Trump will be at the Super Bowl and security is being tightened up. Also, Kelvy is worried he may bang Taylor Swift at halftime. He might. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Colin says he needs to do 1 month parole. That's not bad. You mean a probation? Parole means he's getting out. He's on probation for a month or something like that, maybe. Colin says, hi, Rachel. And Rachel says, hi. Fab Daddy says, you think I cry when all I do is bring up opposition to your thinking? How strange. It sounds a lot like crying. And you're not bringing up any thoughts to our opposition or any opposition to our thinking. I assure you that every argument that you've put forth thus far, except for maybe the one about me calling you a dumbass, which is possible. I don't think I did, but maybe. You haven't said anything that changed anybody's mind at all because you didn't back it up with any facts. You didn't state why you thought that. You didn't articulate anything other than a headline, and that don't work. As if you can't tell from the last 4 years. That doesn't work at all. Not even a little bit. It doesn't make you sound smart either, which I know you are. But talking in headlines don't make you smart. Showing why you think a thing, and then the thing you think, and then the evidence that backs it up is a format that is functional. That might actually sway somebody's thinking, especially if you're right. If you're not right, though, that's why we have debate. Pardon me, I'm having trouble breathing because I'm wearing a girdle. Why are you wearing a girdle? Because I hurt my back. Rachel says, what opposition? You literally are spewing headlines. See? I'm not the only one that thinks that. How do I think that? Because I watch CNN too, enough to know what they're thinking. Rachel says, if you think that's critical thinking, we got other issues. Yeah, that's not critical thinking. Repeating something that Morning Joe said is not critical thinking. Not by a long shot. Fab Daddy says, I'm playing cribbage. Cool. Not checkers. Oh, you're playing cribbage, not checkers. Got it. Okay. Well, I'm playing chess, and I'm going to win. Rachel says, Fab, we are trillions of dollars in debt. Y'all are crying because we aren't funding sick people in the Congo. Really? How dare a president take care of his own people? Why that offends, I don't know. I know because it means no power for the other side. That's what it means. It means that everything he does that works, their power level goes down. Everything he does that proves he was right about a situation, their influence goes down. Every single time he makes an executive order and the country gets better and people get safer and the world gets happier and everybody's getting along, their credibility goes down. That's why they're crying about it. It has nothing to do with them being right. It has everything to do with their toys being taken away from them. Toys that they have enjoyed for the past 20 years. Ripped out of their fingers. And they're left there like toddlers, crying and baying at the wind. But nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to stop what's coming. It is pendulum time, and we have swung the other way, buddy. This is America now, not the bullshit it was 4 years ago. Rachel says, offend you. Why that offends you is beyond me. Right. Fab Daddy says, why you think this cribbage board is a chessboard is beyond me. Well, when I make my move and take the queen, you'll find out. Dana is here. She says, I am disappointed to read the attacks going on in the chat room today. Greetings. Hello, Dana. We're not attacking. We're just having a heated debate. That's all. Me and Fab Daddy are buddies. But he likes to see where I end and he begins. Rachel says, Fab, you just say stuff to be annoying. Well, there's a little of that, too. Trolling is a thing. It's all right. Fab Daddy says, do I annoy you, Rachel? Patty says, oh, Dana, nice to see you. Yes, it is lovely to see you. How is the world? Are you still in France? How's the world in France? Nice to see you, dear. Rachel says, Democrats are experts at picking certain words and twisting them. I'll give them that. They are excellent at it. Yes, they are. And if you're not at the top of your game, it's very easy to fall into that trap because most people don't know how to handle words being twisted on them. I, however, do. And when the words get twisted on me, I twist them back and tie them in a knot. And then they don't know what to do but call me names, which is music to my ears. Because when the names start flying, that means I won. Amanda says, hi, Dana, hun. Heart. Rachel says, almost convincing, right? Fab Daddy says, grow a thicker skin, thin skin, Republicans. Okay. Yeah, we're that, for sure. Which is why we won and are going to keep winning. Rich S says, Fab Daddy, just one question. Do you watch The View? That's 3, Fab Daddy. There's 3 people, actually 4 people, one that hasn't said anything, but I know what they're thinking. 4 people who think you're talking in headlines from TV shows and not actually thinking a situation through or going and finding out what the real truth is about that situation. Fab Daddy says, no, I don't watch The View. I bet you do. At least Morning Joe. Because you've said a couple things that came directly from that show. Rachel says, Fab, wow, you got me. Wow, that hurt. Ugh. Wow. Yeah, it's always funny when those that can't meme say you have a thin skin. The ones that are crying victimhood say you have a thin skin. That's almost as good as calling me a racist. I've been waiting for that. That hasn't actually happened yet for me for some reason. And I'm a little disappointed. I feel a little taken back that no one's actually called me a racist yet. But I'm working on it. I'm going to say something that'll get you soon. Dana says, Patty Donahue, great to see you too, heart. Amanda says, just a debate, Dana. This happens sometimes. Yep, it does. And also, it's good for the channel because when I get asked a question, I get to answer it. And when I answer it, people learn stuff. So I like that. Those who aren't informed or those that may be thinking that way but not saying anything. Obviously, some of you are well informed. Rachel says, Fab, shocking. You would be perfect on the show and cry with them too. Oh, sit right next to Whoopi Goldberg and talk about the world, huh? Bill Bennett says, make your own opinions. Do not get info from a single source. Look at all and follow your heart and soul. I agree with that, Bill, and that's what I try to do. I always try to word things the way that I would word them and glean ideas that I would think of, not things that other people say, although I do agree with some people. But I try not to repeat verbatim what they say because I want you to come to me instead of them. Dana says, hi, Amanda, heart. Rachel says, Fab, how will I sleep tonight knowing you called me thin-skinned and transgenders in Europe won't get their theater funding? Oh, it's beautiful. Rachel, on fire tonight. Bill O'Reilly, thanks, Rich. Yeah, that guy. I couldn't remember his name for nothing. Bill O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson both got fired for similar reasons. Fab Daddy says, I do, Bill, and it doesn't align with MAGA. And because of that reason, I am a crybaby liberal from California. California. Well, you are from California, right? And you do espouse a lot of crybaby liberal talking points. But that's okay. I'll send you a MAGA hat. It'll all be better. By the way, how does it feel now that the water's turned back on in California? Bill Bennett says, you think Joe knows the Lord is real? Joe Rogan, I think he's getting there, Bill. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's still an atheist, but I think that he has capitulated to the idea that there's something greater than him. I don't think he knows what to call it yet, and I don't think he's bought into the whole Jesus thing yet. But he's on his way to that, and you can see it. It's evident in his thinking and his. You can see how he thinks as he talks. And I think it's evident that he has come to some conclusions, and I think he's ripe to come to some more. He really needs some people that are knowledgeable in his life to not send him down rabbit holes like Graham Hancock and those types of people that talk about things that clearly didn't happen to try explain the evidence of the flood. He doesn't ever need to speak to Neil deGrasse Tyson ever again. Probably help if he stayed away from Randall Carlson and Tucker Carlson. Not Tucker Carlson. Randall Carlson and the guy whose name I just said that just slipped my mind. Graham Hancock. Those guys are not good for his psyche. Although, at least they're talking about the stuff that science isn't talking about that is evidence for the flood. They're just calling it the Younger Dryas. That's not what it is, but it is evidence of the flood, and you can't look at it very long without starting to think, oh, I read about this in the Bible, and it says this happened, and here it is. So maybe it wasn't the Younger Dryas comet attacks. Maybe the flood happened. And Rachel says, Fab, stay there and be miserable, please. California. Bill Bennett says, I think Joe knows the Lord is real. It's possible. Fab Daddy says, while I smile at getting under your skin, Rachel. Oh, that's love. And Amanda says, he's learning, Bill. Joe is starting to change. He is. You can see it happening in slow motion. Like there are things that he would have never said 5 years ago that he's saying now. You can't live in this world with your eyes opened and not see it for very long. I mean, you have to really be trying not to see it to avoid it once your eyes are opened. There's a lot of people in this world that are ignorant, Bill, that just don't know what's really going on. They live in a facade, and they haven't peered beyond it yet. When they do, when they wake up and realize that everything that's ever been told to them is a lie or based on a lie, and then they start looking for what's real, you can't not see it at that point. And then it's only a matter of time before you accept it, because it is real. Is real. Interesting that they named the headquarters of the whole religion Israel. By the way, just so you know, if Trump does get Congress to pass a bill that will allow him to have a third term, that will be 3 Trumps in the end times. Just so you know, it's not lost on me. I am paying attention to vernacular. I don't know that that means anything, but the Bible said it would happen, and it's happening. Rachel says, Fab, you don't. Your inability to sense sarcasm is as bad as your critical thinking skills. Wow. Rachel is getting your tail tonight, Fab Daddy. Kevin Cox says Kamala is still the front runner for the the Demo-rats for 2028. WTF is wrong with those people. They want to lose because she'll lose then too. I can't see how she is. I can't see how they would ever run her again as dumb as she sounded on the campaign trail. But if they do, great. Because that means our guy's going to win in 2028. Rich S says, I don't mind that Jordan Peterson is not yet a Christian, but at least he is open-minded to it and willing to study it. I feel like God will reveal himself to him one day, and when he does, watch out. I agree with that. He didn't have to go down that rabbit hole, but he did, and he is coming from a very secular place. So the fact that he even entertained the idea as a concept is amazing. And now that he has, every time he does, he gets a little closer and closer. And I've listened to a lot of Jordan Peterson over the years, and he has come a long way. But he is not what I would call a Christian just yet, but he is on the right track. Let's pray for them people that they find their way to the top of the mountain, where they'll see a theologian sitting, has been there the whole time reading his Bible. Fab Daddy says, writing in sarcasm needs to be italicized. It's so hard to determine with regular font. I agree. It is hard to text tone. Very hard. It's hard to read it and then glean tone from it. But I think I do all right once I get to know you. But sometimes people say things that throw me for a loop, or I read it one way and they mean it another way. And that always gets my ire up. Mr. P says, I'm tired of victims. I'm tired of freeloading. Enough is enough. I'm glad people who don't belong here are being deported. It costs the U.S. taxpayers $25 billion per year taking care of illegal immigrants. Amen, Mr. P. And wouldn't it be nice if that $25 million per year per taxpayer, or however you want to look at it, was spent on, say, homelessness? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or, say, school. I'm just throwing it out there, but if you put $25 billion into school per year, you think the education would get a little better? You think maybe the curriculums would come up some? The poor cities would have better schools and better access to books and things? Better teachers? Maybe if we paid teachers like we play ball players, there'd be a different story going on, right? Maybe a teacher should get doctor salary and a doctor should get teacher salary, and see how that works. Kevin says, okay, Colin, with two is. Chop the tree down and take it like a man. Buddy the elf is also available to help. Buddy the elf is also available to help. He chopped a 9-footer down in Central Park and took it to his dad's apartment. Who is Buddy the elf? Linda Davis says, Fab Daddy, Jake is not thin-skinned. He is passionate and knowledgeable. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. I think he knows that. I think that's why he said it, because I can take it. But I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Fab Daddy says, hi, Linda. Uh-oh, my chat jumped. Hang on. Where'd it go? Boy, you guys are getting down. Fab Daddy says, hi, Linda. That thick-skinned comment was for Rachel, not Jake. Oh, okay. Well, either way, I think Rachel's tough, too. Linda says, oh, okay, Fab. And Fab Daddy says, Rachel's been on my liberal like a Pooh Bear on Honey. Rachel been on my liberal ass like Pooh Bear on Honey. I think that's what you meant to say. Fab Daddy says, I haven't watched Morning Joe for months now. You mean since he lost his freaking mind and then got taken off the air because of his propaganda? Yeah. Probably a good idea. And Rachel says, Fab, yeah, get your shit together and stop acting foolish. I wouldn't be surprised if I found out you guys were married. Kevin Cox says, Morning Joe is a communist, or at least a bad example of a hairstyling. Amen. Dana says, I listened to the whole press conference, Trump with Netanyahu, and I was shocked with what I heard coming from Trump. In what way, Dana? Good or bad? And what specifically shocked you? Linda says, Fab, why can't Republicans be as dedicated to our beliefs, but Democrats can? Oh, yeah, why can't Why is it bad for Republicans to be dedicated to their beliefs, but liberals it's okay? And most of the time, totally out in left field when it has anything to do with Republicans. Right on. Yeah, there's all kinds of Republicans. There's Republicans that lean left in almost everything except for money. There's Republicans that lean left in almost everything except for life. There's different kinds of Republicans. I'm not per se a Republican. I am a conservative, but I'm not necessarily part of the party, if you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of in the middle. I kind of go whichever way makes sense. I guess you would call that a centrist. Linda says, Fab, why can't Republicans be... I read that one. I thought that was Rachel. I'm sorry, Linda. Linda said that, not Rachel. Dana says, yep, I'm still in France. I'm leaving back home by the end of the month. Well, I hope you have a great journey, and I hope you've enjoyed your time in France. And take some pictures. I'd like to see it. I've never been to France. Fab Daddy says, I believe our Lord has brought me here to stir the pot. That is entirely possible. I wouldn't deny that. Maybe it's to keep me on my toes so that I say more true things instead of just playing the guitar all the time. Might be that. But I do believe the Lord brings people together. I agree with you there. See, we found common ground, me and you. Linda says, Dana, that's great. What a wonderful extended holiday for you. And I hope you are enjoying yourself. Me too. Angela says, I watched The View. I watched to see how crazy Donald Trump is driving them all, especially Sonny Hostin and Joy Behar. I agree, Angela. I watch clips of The View. I won't watch the whole show because I can't take it because I don't like yelling at the TV. But I watch the little important clips that come out, and them people have lost their minds. They really have. Dana says, Linda Davis, heart. Kevin Cox says, recently I was called a straight white Republican racist. Beat you to it, Jake. I've been called everything under the sun, but nobody's actually called me a racist yet, and I'm a little upset about it. Because I say some stuff, I'm waiting to where I can say, no, I'm not a white supremacist. I'm a white enthusiast, but I'm not a white supremacist. Angela says, hello all. Hello, Angela. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? How are things in your neighborhood? Linda says, hi, Angela. Amanda says, hi, Angela. Fab Daddy says, a pot not stirred is often burnt. Not if it's not on the stove. Just because you have a pot don't mean you're cooking anything. You know what I'm saying? Dana says, Fab Daddy, smiley face. And hi, Angela. Heart. Fab Daddy says, don't get me going on that water BS. You won't like it. I don't have to like it. I'm not there. I live in a state where we control our fires. So, the only thing we had to worry about is an occasional rogue hurricane, which could have been, minimized had we had something like funding for FEMA, which wasn't going to the border. But, some of that money is now going to North Carolina, by the way, from the stuff that Trump's doing. They're finally getting some help in Asheville and in places that were really hit by that hurricane. All this time, nobody's done a thing about that. Now Donald Trump is. I guess that's bad too, huh? By the way, I noticed that the fires aren't quite so bad anymore in California. I wonder what caused that, because they were pretty bad the last time I looked. Amanda says, oh, yeah, that's right. California has water now because of Trump. Well, damn. Apparently, Fab Daddy sees it differently. You're probably rooting for that smelt, huh? The one who smelt it dealt it. That's what I always say. Rachel says, Linda, right. God forbid a Republican has passion in their beliefs. But the tolerant leftists demand us to sit and listen to their BS and not say anything or get hit in the head with a bike lock. Remember that? Diversity. Diversity is not your strength. It is the cancer that will kill your nation. Merit is your strength. Belief in God is your strength. You don't have those, you don't have anything. Rachel says, Fab, we would love nothing more to hear your critical thoughts on the water issues in California. Or do you need time to quickly look up the headlines? We can wait. Heart. Damn. You gonna put up with that, Fab Daddy? You better have something good to say. Trump opened up 2 dams in Tulare County, and the water is going straight to the ocean, not being saved for agricultural use during summer when we need it. So thank Trump for his ultimate wisdom. Well, you know, if I'm not mistaken, it's your governor, Bass, and also the other guy, what's his name? The slick-haired demon fella. They're in charge of saving the water. Trump turned it on. If you're letting it run to the ocean, that's your fault. You know, California is a state, right? And has leaders. Trump did the thing that allowed the water to flow. If they're not saving it and filling up the reservoirs and filling up the fire hydrants, that's your fault, not Trump's fault. You didn't have water last week. Now you have water, and you're letting it run to the ocean. So, explain to me how that's Trump's bad. I'll wait. Sounds to me like he made 2 sources of water available that your government wouldn't do to save the Palisades and all those people who lost their homes, who are now homeless. California has actively created homelessness in the last couple of weeks. What are you doing to assuage that? Are they under a bridge? No. Why? Well, because they actually have somewhere to go, people that want them there. So the people that lost their homes are staying with other friends and family. They're not living under the bridges. Imagine that. And yes, Trump is very wise when it comes to how to run a business. Linda says, Fab, I'm old and I remember the good old days. And the Biden administration was a joke. And I can't see how anyone can defend it. You have a right to your opinion, but I just can't believe you've lived the same past 4 years. And Rachel says, oh, but you don't get mad at your idiot governor that cut funding from the fire department that greatly hindered how they could fight the flames. Yeah, why don't you get mad at them? They're the ones that put you in this situation. Trump's trying to get you out of it, and you're mad at him. Bill Bennett says, if you don't believe, you will be shown soon. Love you guys. Good night. If you don't believe, you will be shown soon. Love you guys. Good night, Untethered Live family. God bless you all. And you too, Fab Daddy. Bill, good night and God bless. We'll see you Friday. Amanda says, good night, Bill and Skylar. Skylar, good night, buddy. Sleep tight and stay out of trouble. Do your homework. Fab Daddy says, but my guess is you only got your information about our water from a few Trump-supporting news media outlets. Wrong. I don't get my information from news media outlets. I got my news from the White House press conference where they talked about what they were doing, and also from Donald Trump, who did what he was doing on TV. I don't watch Fox News or anything like that. Actually, if I watch or listen or read any news, I usually read the left-wing stuff so that I can see what to argue against. Rachel says, Fab, very bold coming from someone who watches The View. And Rachel says, Fab, did we give you enough time to look up those headlines? Are you going to tell us about the water situation? Fab Daddy says, good night, Bill and Skylar. Amy Elizabeth is here. She says, liked, shared, and invited some friends. Hello. Hey, Amy. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Amanda says hi and thank you. Amy says, reading briefly in chat, WTF did I walk into? A hailstorm of me whooping up on Fab Daddy's ass. No, I'm just kidding. And we're just going back and forth about politics. No big deal. Amanda says, LOL, Amy, a debate. Fab Daddy says, keyboard warriors. Who, me? Are you calling me a keyboard warrior? Because I don't think you genuinely believe that. I think you've heard me talk long enough to know that I've read a couple things. Have a little bit of an education. At least a third grade education, right? I mean, the number of degrees that I have hanging on the wall probably says a thing or two about who I am. But I don't show those, do I? Amy Elizabeth says the first shift person called in sick this morning, so I've had twice as much work today, and I'm tired. Well, good gracious, honey. Sit down, drink yourself a nice hot cup of coffee, and take a load off. We love you. You're doing a great job out there. And Rachel says, Amy, just listening to Fab saying useless headlines and really thinking he's making a point, and then getting butthurt when he gets told facts. Then wants to throw shots at me. And I'm really in the mood today. So, yeah. Heart. Dana says, LOL, I missed Mr. Pros. Hold on, my chat jumped. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Good gracious. Oh, here we are. Dana says, LOL, I missed Mr. Pro's comment. I must be a lousy reader. No, he only made one or two. It's easy to miss. I think he's still here. He's listening. I think he's at work right now, but he's listening in. So, Mr. P, if you're here, Dana says hello. Angela says, what people make in sports is outrageous. Yeah, we should give that to teachers and let sports people make pittance. That's what I think. Kevin Cox says, okay, Jake, you do not know Buddy the Elf. OMG. I don't. Who is Buddy the Elf? Is that the Will Ferrell character on that movie, Elf? Because if so, I do know who it is. Or is that the elf that was on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from the 70s? Either way, I know who those are. Amy Elizabeth says, Rachel, typical person needing a cranial rectum removal. Don't worry. Facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Facts don't care about your feelings. Patty says, our prayers and understanding and love is our prayers against all of this that is happening right now. We were left with power. Amen. Rachel says, Fab, you caught me on a few days off mood stabilizer medicine. So that could be it too. Well, I think you're right. And I think you don't need those mood stabilizers. I think if you just breathe and give people an ass chewing when they need one, you'll be fine. Amanda says, Trump derangement syndrome is real. Shaking my head. Trump derangement syndrome ain't a syndrome. Everybody's done went and lost their minds. From California all the way to Pennsylvania. They've all succumbed to Trump derangement mania. Amy Elizabeth says, I voted for Trump. That's real democracy in action in our republic. Amen, sister. We do live in a constitutional republic that is democratically elected of the people, by the people, for the people. Why is that hard to understand? Just say the Pledge of Allegiance. It's all in there. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for everybody. That's the ideal anyway. It doesn't live up to that all the time, especially when it's Democratic run. Run by Democrats. But that's the ideal that we live up to. That's what we want to have. And I think we're doing a good job of it in the last couple of weeks. Amy says, to be honest, there are two kinds of Trump derangement syndrome, Trump derangement and Trump devotion syndrome. Everything in moderation. I agree. Totally. I think you're right. Linda Davis says, I'm passionate about illegal immigrants, and I feel like I have a right to be. My parents had to go through the correct channels. Why shouldn't they have to also? I agree. We don't care if people come to this country from other countries. We just want them to come in the door, not across the back fence. The fence that we now will actually have. Amy says, on a side note, Alice Cooper turned 77 today. 18. That's a good song. Kevin Cox says, women can't walk around topless in France with no problem. Jake and I walk around topless and get arrested. Damn French do not understand real beauty. Amen. Oh, they can walk around no problem, but we get arrested for it. Nah. I think all people should be allowed to walk around topless. I'm just saying. More titties means more peace, just so you know. If everybody just do their part for their country and show their titties, everybody would be happy. There'd be no reason to fight. I'm just telling you, that'd fix everything. Fab Daddy says, if I told you I was a racist, it wouldn't be a lie. I wasn't anyways. I wasn't always racist. It was taught to me. Well, you know, you can unlearn things that you're taught. You can learn better ways. You can improve the brain that you have if you can recognize that you have a problem. And if you're a racist, I'd fix that if I were you. Don't hate anybody. We are all on the whole planet, flesh and blood. We are the only species of human that has ever existed. There's different colors of humans, but colors is not races. Races come from cultural backgrounds, where you're from, the dirt that you were born into. That's it. There is no difference between people. There's some stupid people out there, but there's some brilliant ones too. And there's in-between people. There are people that are the stars of the show, and there are people that are bit part players. Ultimately, though, you have free will. It's your ship. You can sail it across the seven seas, or you can turn and drive that sucker right into the rocks. Either way, God will allow it. Why? So that you can make a decision. Because when it comes down to dichotomies, the only one that matters is whether you believe in God or not, whether you follow God or not, whether you trust God or not, whether you love God or not. Lo-Ami, Miami, I will be your God, and you will be my people. That's it. That's the only question you need to know the answer to. Everything else is hyperbole. Can I get an amen? If I told you I was racist, I'd be lying to you because I don't hate anyone. Least of all for the color of their skin or the melanin count in their blood. I don't care. What I care about is how people act. Amy Elizabeth says the only time I'm a super racist is when it comes to tacos. Right on. The only time I'm a racist is when I'm at NASCAR. Kevin says, you can do anything with tacos. You really can't. Nope. Ground beef, tomatoes, cheese, sour cream, onions, hot sauce. That's it. John H. says, I was calling far right this morning. Or I was called far right this morning. So I turned around and said, God bless you. Amen, brother. Fab Daddy says, rain. Really? What do you mean, rain? That's a random thing to say. Are you saying it's raining now? It's raining in California. I think it's Georgia. I think it's raining in Georgia. Get your blues right, man. Amy says California had a bunch of rain. Stopped the fires, but now they have mudslides because of the damage from the fires. Sounds to me like God's mad at California. Maybe he watched the new Star Wars ventures that came out and didn't like it very much. You ever thought about that? Maybe you guys should stop making shitty movies and sequels to things nobody wants to watch and actually come up with something new. That'd be nice. How about that, California? Can we all get behind movies that are shitty? Trump can't control the water. He's not Moses, says Amy. Amen. Well, he turned it on. That's more than they had last week. So what they do with it is their business. If they want to let it run into the ocean so they can bitch about it later, so be it. But we're watching. We know what you're doing. Newsom. Thank you, Amy. Gavin Newsom. I couldn't think of that a minute ago. Kevin Cox says, good night, my brother. Good night, Kevin. Sleep well. Don't drink too much bourbon. And come see me Friday. And tell April I said to call me. Dana says, Amy Elizabeth, smiley face, a thumbs up. Amy says, I misspelled it. It's Newsom. Newscum. What Trump calls him, Newscum. Patty says, well, I love all of your company, but I am TKO'd. Thank you. Well, Patty, sleep well. We love you. I'm about to get out of here, too. It's 10 o'clock. Before I go, though, I'm going to try to make it to the bottom of the chat, but please do me a favor. If you guys have enjoyed the content tonight, hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications when I'm going to be online. Smash that like button. You've done it. But one more person, I think it's probably Fab Daddy who hasn't liked, but hit that like button. I'm just kidding. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform me, drink my Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid. Have Trump derangement syndrome. Whatever floats your boat. But if you love what you heard tonight and you want to help out, consider joining the channel. Get yourself a J-tag. Stand out in the crowd. Look sexy with the green name. It's fantastic. You won't regret it. Or super chats are available in the chat box. If you want to throw a little bit of love my way, that's nice. But if you want to help out in a substantial way, you can do that by going to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Or if you're a Cash App user, $JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It is a win-win. It is a blessing to me. But it's a blessing to you too, because God, He notices these things. Now, I will always do everything in my power to be worthy of that support. I will answer all of your questions and comments. I will be your punching bag. I will punch back, baby. That's how it works here. I am grateful for your help, though, and I appreciate you very much. Now, let's get back to the program. Also, go to facebook.com/UntetheredLive family if you want to see what's going on over there. Amy says, sadly, there were people looting homes after people evacuated. What kind of person would do that? The kind of people that know that stars live in those houses and they want their Grammys. Californians would do that. Amanda says, get FEMA and Red Cross to help. Nope, because Biden and Kamala gave all the money to the illegals. Shaking my head. Right, you can't use FEMA because they're broke. Wonder why. Amy says, FEMA and the Red Cross are washing machines, Amanda. Yeah, laundering money. Yeah, I agree. Angela says, new scum. Right on. What it is. He says, hello all. Good night. Hello, what it is. Good night. Amy Elizabeth says, hi, Angel. Hugs. Amanda says, hi, what it is. Angel says, exactly, Amy. Thanks for the invite, sweetie. I appreciate it. Yeah, Angela, you can come. We come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can come be part of this too every night. We love you. We want you here. You got a J tag. You might as well show it off. It'll soon be turning colors, by the way, just so you know. Amy says 19 watching and only 10 likes. Come on, people. Well, there's 12 likes now and 11 people watching, so we're one up. But we could have 30. That'd be nice if we could do 30. Amanda says, are you leaving already? What it is? Amy Elizabeth says, no one sane watches The View. I agree. That is a crazy bunch of women. What it is says, I get my news from the comment section on Sunday newspapers. That's probably you probably get more accurate news from the comic section than you do from the front page. I heard somebody wise once say, and I believe it was Denzel Washington. He said, if you don't read the news, you're uninformed. If you do read the news, you're misinformed. There you go. Amanda says, right, what it is, probably the closest thing to the truth. Yeah. Amy says, I'm tired and tired again. I'm so retired. You're retired. So I'm retired. Yeah, you're tired and tired again. You are retired. Correct. Might as well put your feet up if you're retired. Drink you a nice hot cup of coffee in a Untethered Live mug. Linda says, Fab, I got my guinea up tonight. I usually don't argue politics. Linda, I love you. And I love you too, Fab, so it's all good. Where did you go? Angela says, I watched The View. Those old bags crack me up. I definitely loved Fetterman telling them the cases against Trump were lawfare. Yeah, I actually like John Fetterman. He's a Democrat, but he seems to have a little bit of common sense now that his brain is starting to work again. I was a little dubious about that guy when he first got elected, though, because he couldn't even talk. Fab Daddy says, just doing my part, y'all. You're always welcome to do your part, Fab Daddy. You know that. Come on, man. I'll argue with you till the sun goes down and get hot, but I love you, and I'll listen to every word you got to say, and I'll allow it, because I believe in free speech. Mr. P says, I'm still here, and hi, Dana. Dana, there's Mr. P saying hello. And Amanda says, you're doing good at it, Fab. That's right, giving me something to have content about. I like that. I appreciate it. Rachel says, Amanda, right, A+ for Fab. Right on. And Fab says, oh, stop it. You're making me blush. And Rachel says, good night. My brain cannot deal with Fab's foolishness right now. I hear you, sweetheart. I'm going to bed, too. I'm just trying to get to the bottom. Rachel says, see y'all Friday, heart. See you Friday. Sleep well. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Relax. Drink some hot tea or something and just put on I Love Lucy or something old and comfortable, fun. Just watch that. You'll be fine. Pass out watching I Love Lucy. Amanda says, good night, Rachel. And Rachel says, oh, watch Grease. That's a good one. That'll get you going. Rachel says, I'm so tired. And Fab Daddy says, sweet dreams, sweetie. Aw. Angela says, aw, Fab Daddy, we love knowing all about the soup sandwiches you eat. Just don't like you puking them all over us. Amen. Rachel says, they should make debating with a Democrat a sport. It is as exhausting as a real workout. I agree. I think they should be a channel on TV that's 24/7 and just has strong right wing, strong left wing, and see who wins. And they have to follow rules. They can't throw insults. They have to argue points. And if they don't have facts, they have to shut up. Rachel says, Fab, kissy face, heart, heart, heart. Aw. Amanda says, LOL, Rachel. We need to go for a Rachel Fab hookup. Fab's a lot closer. Fab Daddy says, sweet pea soup. Yum. Great. Dana says, hi, great to see you, dear John. Heart. Aw. And Amanda says, bleh. Smiley, smiley. Fab Daddy says, a woman. Nope. Amen is how Southern people say amen, which means let it be so. Amen does not mean let it not be so, so you can't say that. That's just some left-wing nonsense that some idiot came up with who happened to call himself a preacher. Stupid. Amy Elizabeth says, I just noticed the dark MAGA hat. Nice. Dark MAGA Jake. Back in action. Thank you, Amy. And Amanda says, LOL, Amy. Angela says, I'm not a racist. I can't stand all stupid people equally. I don't care what color their skin is. Stupidity is at its finest and something I have no patience for. Angela says, I'm not a racist. I hate everybody. I agree. Mr. P says, good to see you too, Dana. Aw. Fab, what it is says, what a shit show. Be more specific. This show is not a shit show. This show is fine quality entertainment, buddy. If you're referring to the world, I agree. Be more specific. What are you talking about? What's a shit show? Angela says, Fab Daddy, a soup sandwich is as bad as cow patty, only runnier. A soup sandwich is as bad as a cow patty, only runnier. Yeah. Now I taste it. Thank you for that. Fab Daddy says, LOL, hit like. It's free. I hit it almost every show for 2 years, and I will continue. Thank you, Fab Daddy. And yes, please hit that like button, everybody. It is free, and now's your chance to help the show reach other people because they do pay attention to those numbers. Angela says, Jake, what nights and times are you live? Okay, my schedule is as follows. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 4 nights a week at 8:30 and 1 night a week at 8 Eastern Time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come be with us. Amanda says, Angela, Sunday at 8 p.m., Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dana says Tulsi Gabbard was also a Democrat, yet she is very smart. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I really do. One of my favorite appointees by Trump, and I don't subscribe to the false dichotomy, blue box or red box. I agree. But I like Tulsi Gabbard. I think she's a very strong and independent and powerful woman with a lot of intelligence. And it's funny how the left never mentions her. Instead, they want us to look at Kamala Harris and say, look, a strong, powerful black woman. What about this strong, powerful Hawaiian woman who's actually strong and powerful and has actual intelligence? Why do I got to listen to this moron over here cackle when I could be listening to her making sense? She's actually served in the military. She actually knows a thing or two about the world we live in. Why don't you mention her? I like Tulsi Gabbard. I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard, although she didn't get to run. And by the way, left wing, right wing, same bird. This is true. Amanda says, titties, LOL. That's right. Do your part for America and let them puppies fly. Let them free. Show the world. Let's bring everybody together in unison to love titties. I agree. I think that would probably cause world peace, and nobody's ready for that. John H. says, good night, everybody. And Amy Elizabeth says, titties. Old lady titties. Well, it's true what they say. Once you've seen one titty, you want to see the rest of them. Could be an old biker lady. Like, what's his name? There's a comedian that has that joke, and I can't think of his name. Ron White. Yeah. You want to see my titties? Yeah, I do. Amanda says, good night, John, and LOL, Amy. Angela says, thank you for the time and days, Amanda. You're welcome. Amanda says, you're welcome, Angela. See, I told you. Mark Gibby's here. He says, like button hit. God bless y'all. Mark, God bless you. Thank you for being here. You're just in time to watch me leave. Amanda says, hi, Mark. Mark says, hello. And Amy says, keep it simple. Every night but Tuesday and Thursday. 8 on Sundays, 8:30 the rest of the week. That's right. Thank you, Amy. And Amanda said, I probably just need to go 8:30 all the way across the board, but I always feel like I want to start a little earlier on Sunday because I got to get up and go to work on Monday. Amanda says, LOL, Amy. I'm so used to doing it the other way, it comes natural. Right on. Angela says, I wouldn't call MAGA Republican. I think MAGA is a party of its own. Yeah, it's more populist than Republican. And a lot of the Republicans, like Mitch McConnell and the like, aren't doing too well with it. So you're right. It's not really Republican, although it's under the Republican umbrella. So there's that. But it's really more into the center. Fab Daddy says, stay hydrated. The water's running. California, if you need a glass. 2 and 5, and be kind. That's right. You got the water turned on in California. That's a song. Well, it's flooding in California. Water all over the place. I like it. Amy says, I have to wear a bra when I ride a motorcycle or the windshield of the car behind me gets sweaty. Good gracious. Damn, Amy. Are you saying you got the flapping going on? Ooh, I hear you. And Amanda says, good night, Fab. And Amanda says, rolling on the floor, Amy. Angela says, LMAO, Amy. Amy? LMAO, Amy. I can't say that word for some reason. LMAO, Amy. I did it. All right, that's the bottom of the chat. Thank you guys so much for the conversation and the pushback and the confrontation and the debate. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. I love you all. I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you Friday.